Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading. This is your reading for the week of July 8th. We're going to jump right in here. You have this wasp spirit. It says sometimes life stings. And you also have this armadillo spirit. It says set healthy boundaries. I don't know. I think that your readings have had something coming up for at least maybe like a month or two about, maybe a breakup or some sort of separation or something that you've been going through with the Three of Swords. This has come up for you multiple times. The good news is you have this mending card, which says that you are healing. Apparently this whole deck is upside down, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm flipping these cards over. But, I do feel like you are entering into a time of healing. I've said it to you before, and I'll probably say it again, Virgo. I think that the past few years have been all about, healing your love life and noticing things about love. And the things that you have noticed are probably, maybe those moments where you like pick a person that is kind of meant to fill some sort of gap, or, it could be anything. It could be maybe you notice that you pick people who kind of remind you of your parents, or something like that. And the good news is, even just based off your astrology, I would say that this is something that you are kind of healing, or that you are working through in a lot of ways. So again, I'm not too worried about this. I think that it's a good thing. I think it's all part of the process, and now you have learned to set healthy boundaries. I kind of feel like I'm not I'm not calling you naive, but I think that there are also some maybe moments in your love life where you see where you were naive, or you like just believed a person or whatever. And again, that could be something that you could be healing. You have the Ace of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. So again, I would get ready for something much more passionate, and I would make sure that you are healing, because you have that Three of Swords, and you also have this mending card as well coming up. And these are cards of healing. Really, the Three of Swords is a card of forgiveness, and we'll talk about it. But you have two aces here, and then you go to the Hermit right here. So two aces is a definite yes to any question that I haven't answered or that I don't answer. But two aces is also a new beginning, and then you show up as yourself here. We have the Lovers at the end. For those of you that want love, this could definitely be something that you will love entering into your life, and it could be a new connection, but it could also just be something that you are very passionate about, especially with that Ace of Wands. The Three of Swords is a card of healing, like I said, and forgiveness. Those three swords are in your own heart, and those three swords have to be removed by you so that you can heal. So the Three of Swords is also meant to represent just a temporary period of time. It's raining on the card. Obviously, it doesn't rain forever. And again, I think a lot of you could just be going through a healing. You could be forgiving yourself or forgiving past situations for whatever you've been through. And again, I think that would be a good idea as well. You have the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So again, maybe you've been wounded. I do feel that you have your boundaries up, which is probably not a bad thing, because you have this card that says set healthy boundaries. But we go up to the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords can kind of represent the fear of repeating something over again, or kind of like the fear of having something happen again. And that's really what I'm getting off the Nine of Swords, is that it's almost like you're trying to avoid a mistake. But again, with the Nine of Swords, I would be careful of overcorrection, right? So I think it's best that we kind of like sit in the center, and I think that when we overcorrect, we're just not looking at the lessons we learned, or we're just not seeing the things that we could have avoided in the first place. Again, if you really examine whatever this was here, this heartbreak, and again, this could be in work or business as well. It doesn't have to be love. If we look at it, there were probably, warning signs or things that popped up early that if we paid attention to, we could have avoided the situation. So I always say, pay attention to what you went through, right? Can't make this up. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Lovers. You start and end this row here with the Lovers. Definitely could be a passionate new connection coming in for you. Again, I would get out of your head with the Nine of Swords, and I feel like you've learned a lot. The Hermit has climbed to the top of a mountain. He has been through a dark night of the soul. He has, kind of learned from his mistakes and the things that he's done. So I feel like it's safe for you to open up, especially for those of you that want love. You have two cards want to pop out here. You have the Judgment card and the Strength card with the Three of Swords. Yeah, you've developed a lot of strength. The Strength card is kind of about conquering yourself as a person, and she's getting that lion to submit to her, and that lion represents like her inner voice, her inner critic, all those things. And the Judgment card is about waking up to a new life. These people are being called up out of their coffins, and they're being called to step into something new or something different. And so I feel for a lot of you that things are changing. And again, you are not going to repeat the same thing over again, because you are going to pay attention, because I'm telling you to right now here, Virgo. But again, you've done a lot of work on yourself. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, maybe you moved too quickly in the past with people, or maybe you feel like you got too excited with a person too quickly. And again, no overcorrection. Six of Pentacles is about just taking your time in new connections, or again, even if this is like a new business idea or something that you're working on, it's about planting a seed, allowing it to grow, allowing it to sprout, seeing what happens, or even planting multiple seeds. And then if things grow, you keep going, right? So I think that the Six of Pentacles in relationships is really about kind of like the tennis match. You hit the ball to their side, you wait for them to hit the ball to your side, and you kind of take your time, and you don't rush anything, and you make sure that there's equal give and take. And the more equal give and take there is, the more you can give. This is how we can prevent ourselves from being an over giver, right? Which I think a lot of spiritual people are over givers. And, in love, this basically just says, take your time. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this community card and this mending card. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you are just probably, again, like I said with the astrology, you're healing relationships in your life in general. I even feel like you could be healing relationships with people who passed away. You could be, by working on yourself, you are kind of doing that. You are, working on those relationships, or maybe you're getting rid of those kind of those quote unquote generational curses or whatever, just by kind of working on yourself. I do feel like there is a lot of community support for you. I'm pretty sure a couple years ago, and I have this like deja vu feeling on that community card, because I'm pretty sure I said to you like a long time ago now that you could be, it's kind of like you're changing the people that you surround yourself with, or the community that you belong to. And this could be in work or business. So it's like, but again, like I feel like you're getting more specific. The best example I can give you is like, let's say you just work with everybody. It's like maybe you're switching to only work with men or only work with women. It doesn't matter. But it's like, I feel like you're becoming specific in something, or, especially again if you have a business, but again, it doesn't, that's just one example, it could be anything, but I really see you kind of narrowing down your specialty in business. And if you're doing that, I feel like this will be very, very profitable for you. And again, I'm not saying it has to be men or women. It could just be like maybe you work with all sorts of businesses, and now you're deciding to only work with doctors, or something like that. I feel like you're getting more specific with what you do. And we kind of really, I'm going to skip ahead and actually go to the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a very specific card. It's about having laser-like focus and being very focused on what you work on, and making sure that you work on things where you can have a victory. The Ace of Swords is also about balance. There are these 6 golden yods right here. And the 6 yods just kind of represent that the card itself, or the sword, is in perfect balance. So again, if you're worried about repeating a mistake this way, or if you're worried about something happening again, this basically says if you keep things in balance, things will be fine. And again, if you pay attention to what you learned, then things will be fine as well. I do feel like there could be some sort of victory here. You have the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune says that fortunes are turning in your favor. It does seem to be a very lucky time. Again, we have Jupiter and Gemini, and it's opposite Sagittarius. And, Gemini is the opposite of Sagittarius. And so I feel like there could be, I don't know, there's something going on there with luck for people and luck changing. Again, just based off the astrology, this is not necessarily intuitive, although it kind of is, because I kind of feel intuitively that people need to make sure that they're putting themselves in more, like having more experiences. And I think that's intuitively like where the luck is going to come from for pretty much everyone. So if you want to be more lucky, or if you want to increase your luck, I would make sure that you are going and having experiences. Again, you're not going to just magically get lucky. And I think these kind of like lucky things, lucky breaks that might be coming in for people are going to be in regards to like work or business. So this could represent, if your boss wants you to do extra work, do it. If there's an opportunity to do extra work at work, do it. If there's an opportunity to apply for a raise or promotion, even if you're not qualified, see what happens. Again, there could be, a lucky break that's coming in here. Same thing for business. I would take advantage of, pretty much any opportunity that you potentially can. You have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is curiosity. Again, I do feel like there is new love coming in here, going this way. It could be another earth sign for sure. And I feel that it could be a very lucky connection, but it's almost like someone has their eye on you, or someone already has been kind of like interested in you. It seems to me like a little bit of a secret admirer type thing going on here. With the Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Cups, see, like I feel like you're worried that you're not going to get what you want. This to me is kind of like the fear that you're never going to be happy, or the fear that you're never going to have a family, or be joyful, or get the things that you desire. And I feel like there could be a really happy, joyful connection coming in for you, but you have to get out of your head with the Nine of Swords coming up right next to it. The Ten of Cups is also like fortune after difficulty. So if you've been having a difficult period of time, this could definitely represent improvements. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Three of Pentacles, another card of community. You have the community card. You have the Ten of Cups, which is also a card of community. There's a lot of teamwork stuff going on here. Yeah, I feel like there are people who could really kind of lift you up. I also am getting something here about like behind the scenes work. So if you've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, I feel like it's like you're finally going to be seen for the work that you're doing. This could also say that you've been working on something behind the scenes to present to the world, and you're about to kind of show your work. So Three of Pentacles is quality work, and it's also getting recognition for the work that you do. With the Page of Swords, you have the Hierophant here. Could be a Taurus coming in for some of you. This could also just be, blessings coming in for you. He's making this symbol right here that represents blessings. The Hierophant kind of represents outside the box thinking as well. He that's not always true. He has a certain set of beliefs, and he's teaching these two initiates in front of him those beliefs. But I almost feel for you, Virgo, that this plus the Hermit could represent, and also the Page of Wands. This could represent needing to think outside the box for success. The Page of Wands, he's kind of like the Knight of Wands in the sense that he is spontaneous. The Knight of Wands is truly the card of being spontaneous, but the Page of Wands, like if he feels inspired by a new direction or doing something new in work, business, love, money, spiritually, whatever, he will do it. You have this older woman, it says sadness, female. You have a tree, it says stability and growth. Yeah, I mean, you could be feeling sad with that nine of Swords, or just trying to avoid something. But clearly, there is a lot of stability and growth. Again, it's a very good reading, except for that Nine of Swords. So I feel for a lot of you that you should just change your focus to the stability in your life, or things that can be stable. Again, you have the Nine of Swords, the one fly in the ointment in your reading. The Nine of Swords is like having a nightmare, waking up, and being stuck in a nightmare. So it's a never-ending nightmare. It's repeating a cycle. I feel this is more of a fear, like you are fearing that if you get into another relationship, things are going to happen like they happened last time, or there's going to be you're going to be making a mistake, or whatever the case may be. And so I feel like the Nine of Swords is encouraging you to kind of like release those feelings, but also to kind of push yourself. He has this blanket right here, and that blanket represents a comfort blanket. The story of the Nine of Swords is that he's in pain, but because of that blanket, he's like not in enough pain to make a change. And so the Nine of Swords reminds us to don't let it get to that point where you are in so much pain, that's what it takes to motivate you to make a change. So I feel like the Nine of Swords is kind of encouraging you to make a change right now, especially if there is something painful going on in your life. This could be a relationship, it could be anything. It could just be your current, financial situation. And I feel the Knight of Pentacles and the Hermit and the Hierophant are all pretty much represent knowledge. He has these oak leaves on his helmet, and they represent knowledge and wisdom. The thing with the Knight of Pentacles is that he has all the knowledge and wisdom he needs to plant seeds in this field, and they will grow. But he's the only knight in the tarot that isn't moving. So I feel like this is saying you need to like make your move, or you need to make a move towards success or growth, and that's exactly what I would do there. You have the Hermit, you showing up in a very strong position. Again, when you show up as yourself, it really kind of puts you in a position of power and strength, allows you to get what you want from the reading. So I would encourage you to kind of like make a move at this time. I would also say that he has climbed to the top of a mountain, and he's shining his inner light. So it is kind of like time for him to open that lantern up. That lantern has a star inside of it, And so it says that it's time for you to kind of, spread your greatness all over the world. And, with the Three of Pentacles here, this could say it's time for you to kind of like show your work, or, it's time for you to show something off. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Ten of Swords. Actually pretty good. The Ten of Swords says something is dead, done, over with. So it kind of says that you are done with this situation. He's making the same symbol right here that the Hierophant is making on his card, and it kind of just represents a blessing. To me, the Ten of Swords is like a blessing in disguise. So you could be receiving a blessing after a very difficult period of time. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Six of Wands. Yeah, it's like you will be victorious. I think a lot of this reading, even though there's love here, I feel like a lot of this reading is talking about yourself and talking about your feelings about yourself. It's kind of like talking about how you see yourself. And I kind of get a little bit of imposter syndrome from this reading, like feeling like you're not good enough to put your work out into the world, feeling like you're not good enough to, share something with people. But again, I think if you do it, you will be victorious. The Six of Wands is success. It is a victory. He's being cheered on by the people around him. And, again, there's a lot of stuff here about your community. So I think a lot of people will appreciate the things that you have to share. With the Hermit, you have the Death card. Definitely a big change coming in for you. Probably in regard, I think really you're just coming out of darkness. Right here, those are the two pillars from the moon on this card, and I feel like the sun is coming up between those two pillars, so it kind of suggests that you are leaving behind a moon period and stepping into a sun period. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Entertainer card. It says, your charm and influence will help you get ahead. You have this Undecided card. It says, dealing with fluctuating goals and or income, but it's coming up in the good stuff, so I do feel you are much more focused. Even the Lovers is a choice. Traditionally, the Lovers was kind of about being at a crossroads and having a choice to make. So coming up in the good stuff, I feel like you are more focused with this energy, and you could be picking a new path to move on in your life. Again, there's definitely some sort of change in the way that you work is what I feel like. The example I gave earlier about, becoming more focused, but again, that's just one example. There's like a million things that you could be doing in work or business. As far as love is concerned, again, I do feel like there could be a very strong connection coming in for you. You've clearly done the work on yourself, like I said, with the Strength card twice. It's funny that you have the, lovers and lovers, strength and strength right here. So it's kind of like saying to me that you've completed this journey of working on yourself. Again, that lion is really just your inner self, and now you have tamed your inner self. Now, she understands that she has to do this every single day. She has to constantly work on that inner voice that tells her she can't do things or whatever. And I feel for a lot of you that the Strength card is kind of like saying you're going to have to continue to do the work like everybody else, of course. But the Strength card is a display of strength. Like, people are seeing her strength. So I feel that, again, you are receiving recognition, or people are seeing just how strong you are. You have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is like a breath of fresh air. In this reading, I feel like you're feeling refreshed, and maybe not like right away. Technically, kind of. This is, it's the second week of July, but I'm shooting this on the 2nd, so I'm shooting it on the first week. You might be watching it early as well, and I would say this first half of the month, I feel you're just kind of working through this energy, and then by the time we get to the middle of the month, I feel you're going to feel much more kind of refreshed, much more excited. He's just the card of excitement, enthusiasm, being excited for a new journey, and that's kind of where I feel like you're at. So let's see. With the Lovers, you have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, just having healthy boundaries. Seven of Wands is drawing a line in the sand and saying, this is what I'm willing to accept, this is what I'm not willing to accept, and sticking to your guns. So I feel like you need to kind of stick to your boundaries. With the Strength card, you have the King of Swords. King of Swords is a card of discernment and kind of like knowledge and wisdom as well. We see a lot of knowledge and wisdom in this reading, and it's like I said, you've learned a lot, and now I feel like you are kind of implementing what you have learned through life. With the Page of Wands, you have the Hermit again. So you have a lot of repeating cards here. Whenever I have a bunch of repeating cards, it's kind of like the universe is saying I meant what I said, but also the universe, it's kind of like confirmation that you're on the right path, at least to me. You have this bag card. It says something important, such as a new job or a new raise. We said this the whole entire time. Definitely think it's a good time for you to look for a raise or a promotion or try to get one. Also, if you have a business, same thing. I feel you could be giving yourself a raise. So great. You have this bow. It says you are highly thought of. Yeah, it's weird that I get this feeling that you feel that things won't be well received. I feel like for some of you, if you're working on something, I don't know what words I'm looking for here, but it's almost like you are afraid that if you put your work out into the world that it won't be well received. But like I said, I actually feel that you are highly thought of. I feel there's a lot of like positive attention and good things that could come in for you. You have this club card. It says someone will try to make you do something against your will. So again, I think this is about boundaries and people testing your boundaries. I would make sure that you don't, get involved with toxic people or anything like that. You have this money path card. It says a path with money is waiting for you to find it. Yes, definitely. Becoming more specific, making changes to your work or your business, all that could definitely increase your finances. You have this mountain road. It says you're on the road to success. Love it. So this is probably one of the better readings I've done for you in a while here, Virgo. I feel like you're coming out of something and you're just on like a good path. Like I said, breath of fresh air, I think, is the best way to describe the reading, and feeling much more like excited, feeling much more, optimistic with that Page of Wands as well. So love it. Thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.